So for our next little exercise, I'm going to show you how to turn a digital print into a canvas print and then make it look so bloody awesome you'd swear it was a real thing. Now I've started off with an artwork that I've done. You can go to Etsy's site and check it out if you want to buy one. If you zoom in close, you'll see it's oil painted. I digitally oil painted it, see? There we go. So, and that's going to come in help us later. By all means, for this exercise, if you wanted, you can always go to Google, type in digital art, oil painting digital art, and maybe find an image that has the same kind of thing that we're going for. You want to try to get something that looks arty and painted. I mean, you can use any image, but you're kind of defeating the purpose if you don't get something that looks arty. Alright, so here we go. Okay, so unlike the previous video where we had to use, do 3 to 4 layers, this one's quite simple. Get the stuff, put it on, and at the same time, put a layer on there as well. So here we go. I've only got one hand at the moment because I'm holding the phone, but I think you're pretty much clever enough to figure out what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we've got our print. It's printed on a 480 GSM, nothing flash. It is a laser print normally, as I said earlier, and I usually use A3 and get it done at my print and copy place. Anyway, so you will need a canvas. Yes, I know it's a little bit overkill for this project, but it's all I've got, and that's the sacrifice I'm willing to make for you guys. Okay, so you got your cheap canvas, and yes, the trusty old paintbrush. There's a chance you're going to kill it. So, but if you wash it, you might get some more use out of it. In the previous video, I used gloss gel medium. I can't find it because I think I'm run out of it. So now I'm using the matte gel medium, and I think it's probably a better choice to use anyway, because you don't want it to be glossy at this stage because it's kind of redundant. Because I got a special surprise later, sorry. Okay, so if we look at as I showed you earlier on the computer, my artwork, there is actually, you can't really tell here now because it's so small, because this artwork's usually very, very big, but there is actually, it's oil painted. There's textures in there, but you can't really tell. But you'll see what we got coming up. Here we go. Okay, so here I am, I've done it. I mean, you can get, once again, if you thinned out the strokes so you don't get those big creases, but you know what, it doesn't really matter, because here we go. Doing my best here, one-handed, guys. Alright, grab your print, da-da-da, throw it on, sandwich it, see? Easy peasy Japanesey. There you go. That's it, that's how hard it is. Obviously, you want to get those bubbles out. I used to usually use a little. Look how wasted. Look at all this wasted stuff. It doesn't matter. Anyway, get those bubbles out. Try not to get any of that stuff on top of it, because that might come back and bite you. Alright, so here I am, letting the bubbles out. Trying to anyway. And you really need to get them out, because that will come back and bite you as well. Alright, there we go. Done. It's not perfect. Like I said, I'm only doing this for you guys to show you. There we go. There we have it. Alright, let that dry. I'm lucky. I got a nice bright sunny day outside, so I'm going to do that. And we'll come back to it and see how we go. Okay, because I've got so much gunk left over and we're only doing this for shits and giggles, I'm just quickly printed out some extra little prints, and I'm going to, it's so very hard to do this one-handed, but just bear with me. Alright, so I've up some paper, and I'm going to rip it up and throw it around the edges and all that and see what kind of effect we get. I've done this in the past where I've used things like fabric prints of fabric and patterns and wallpapers, and it just creates a really cool mixed media collage look. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. See, rough as guts. I just ripped it up, threw it on there, put a bit of gunk on there, tried to utilize that little bit of leftover stuff that I had. Alright, we'll let that dry. Let's see how we go. Okay, here we go. Pretty straightforward. Canvas is in the tub, and we're applying water. That's how easy it is. And much like I did in the other video, you start rubbing it off. I like to really drench the thing. Really drench it. I've also been known to use spray bottles. But here we go, look. Magic. You can be as aggressive as you want. You can even get the garden hose on it if you really must. But here we go, it's rubbing. I'm rubbing. Still drying, still wet. Purely, this is an example of what happens when you rush it. And pros and cons. So we're getting early. You can see all this texture here. I mean, that could be what you want, you know, like that's very much like the Mona Lisa. But anyway, that is the canvas, and all these little lines are actually all that thick gunk that when I applied it was so thick that it's actually become part of it. So, you know, if you want that effect, that's cool. But as I have mentioned, use a smoother brush, take your time. You won't have that. It'll be smoother and nicer. But as I said, when this dries, all this here will probably go really white because it's just wet paper. It still needs to be rubbed off. I ain't got time for that. But you can see what we're trying to achieve here. This will dry and it'll become one with the canvas. You'll see the texture of the canvas come through. Look, you can even see the dots. The detail's all there. All right, you can see where I could have kept rubbing, but I won't. That's where I slapped on that other stuff just to show you. Okay, so there's that. Now, the good stuff. This is what it's all about. You can go straight out and put that on a canvas and be pretty happy with it. But as I said earlier about if you can get oil paint stuff, and this is the secret. Gloss, medium, varnish. Alright, and no, I'm not endorsed by the company. You put this stuff on your canvas after you're done, after it's dry and all that stuff. It creates a gloss effect, but if you're clever, like I can sometimes be, use the right brush and mimic the strokes in the artwork. You can, it really pops. So here we go. I'm going to give you an example. This here is exactly what I'm talking about. That is an artwork I got off Google. It's from my daughter's bedroom. As you can see, it was a watercolor painting of some sort. And I did, you see when you do it right, look how beautiful it looks. Okay, see, it can, so that was for example purposes. This is what it can look like. It's amazing. As a matter of fact, I might even take a photo and use that as my YouTube thumbnail. But as you can see, I used the varnish, and also it allows for it to seal on the side too, see? But what we do, if I'm trying to get it in the right light, you can see how the brush strokes, I tried to, it was probably not the best example, but you can see where you can kind of see there's an actual texture to it, and I used the brush strokes to mimic it. There we go, see? So in the right light, it looks absolutely real. It looks like a real painting. And I think that's what they do in the Hollywood movies when they got like big portraits in old buildings, like the White House and all that. They're actual digital prints and they've just put a varnish over it. So that's the trick. As I said, it's the stuff. Okay? Gloss, medium, and varnish. Now, that's a good example of something being perfect. Now, for the artists out there, this is where you can go with it. That there was a transfer, all that. You see the shoulder. I made it black and white. It was a black and white transfer. Put it on the canvas, and then I actually, using real paint, I painted all this around. Then coloured in with either paint or, dare I say it, Sharpies. And I think it looks pretty good. I then put a varnish over the top, and I kid you not, you'd swear it was a real painting by the way it's come together. Because that's the other thing too, when you put, in this case, I've actually went over these sections here with actual grey paint to just really sell that I painted this look. And this here is a portrait that's almost 90% real paint, as in I actually painted this. It's very minimalist, but as you can see, I used newspaper or print. I printed out newspaper print and created this effect. So there you have it. Can be done.